All right, this is the last scary part right here. Just go real slow and I'll watch it real closely.
Go back and get it over.
We got room?
Yeah.
I mean, it's packed, but I mean, if you...
But I'm gonna start going this way more, but then as I do something...
I thought it was gonna be a 30-minute to an hour deal. We're 3 hours into it. Every single turn, we're taking a half an hour to make the turn. This one here, I thought we could have just kept going, but he wanted to try to scooch it over a little more. I mean, I'm glad he doesn't want to dump the thing. I don't want to dump it either. But I finally said he wasn't going to come up the road, and he wanted me to get the dozer and widen the road, which I told him that was going to take a long time. And I said, well, I'll get in there and do it. I'll drive it up. He didn't want to let me do that. But I mean, I'd already had it up. But hey, nothing's easy, nothing. And every time I want something really bad, it's always really hard. It's never easy. So anyhow, you gotta enjoy the process, right? You're supposed to enjoy the process. I can't hardly watch them because I want to start telling them what to do, and they're the professionals. But I can tell you right now, he does not know how to back a trailer, and he doesn't know how to use the road. Like, you need to use all the road. You got something that long, you're making a turn, you need to use the whole thing, every bit of the road. He's cutting every turn, and then he has to use his little hitch thing to do like a 4-point adjustment to make the turn, when in reality he probably could have just took the turn wide. But we're on the last leg. If he gets around that turn, we get him up here and get this thing spotted where I want it, and the rest is on them. So they'll figure it out, and they get the other one over here tomorrow, and I'll have my double wide, and they'll have some cash. As you can see, this is going to be a great spot. Great spot. Overlooking those homes. Got another one over there. This is our guest house. This is where we're going to make our little... And the deck is going to be right here. So the deck will be right here. I don't know how big I'll make it, but be able to sit up on the deck and look out over all your property. And life will be good. If he makes that turn, life will be good. I think he's about got it. He just about got it. I can already see from over here, he needs to be over up against the wall. He's close, but he's still probably had more room to get it over. I don't know, man. This guy. I'm glad I won't be here tomorrow watching this, because I think they thought it was going to take an hour. I thought it was going to take an hour, and we've been up here 3 hours. Well, I jinxed myself. He kept messing around with it and finally got it all the way over to the edge and about lost it off the side of the mountain there. So now they've got to go back to their shop and get rollers, which they should have had rollers with them. I brought them out here We drove out this road, we looked at the sharp turns, and they said no problem. The other Houston, we have a problem. I don't like the way that thing's sagging either. There's a lot of pressure being put on it right now. They got it too close to the edge. So we're gonna see where we're gonna chain it up from, and then see if we can use the sliders to slide it over. Once they get it out of here, I'm gonna try to widen this little spot up, but we just got right there on the edge. So I've gotta see what we can do here. Okay, so the idea on the angled like that, might even try to get a little more of an angle, except for really don't want to go off right here. Pretty close to going off right there. But I'm gonna turn and push, and I gotta get the ass into the trailer over to about right here. So we're gonna hook up on the frame right there. And then I'm gonna just push like that. In theory, it's gonna work. So we'll see what happens. So we got the track. It's like a little track. Chains on. Sketchy. I don't need that chain to come unhooked, I can tell you that much. Well, that worked. So I was able to push it all the way over. You can see where the wheels were right there where he's standing, when right on the edge we slid it over. Ought to be able to get it now, huh?
Hopefully we'll make it run.
I think we can get it. If we can make it all the way to that.
If it's running that way, that's fine.
Stay on that edge as much as you can.
Stay where it's going. Now we just have to run it.
Okay. That was my idea, by the way. Not to brag, but once you get it on those rollers, it's just slip and slide. So yeah, now he's got the right idea. Run that thing all the way over as far as you can. I think he's gonna get it this time. Always fun and games around here, that's for sure. Yeah, we're a good 2 feet away from where we were, so. We had it all the way up to right there at one point, but he just kept getting closer and closer to the edge. He would try to back up. He was trying to back up to shift it over, and he was actually getting it closer to the edge. And then finally he got off in the soft stuff, and it was all she wrote. I thought we were done for the day. We were gonna leave it here, and then they had those in their truck. They didn't think they had them, but never give up. Never give up. We might get this thing in its spot yet today. Well, we didn't give up. We got it. I widened this out. So if he just stays over here, we shouldn't have to do that again. I got about 2 more feet of width out of here. I think there should be no problem for him getting around that. And I widened out down there. He had a problem there. So I widened that out. And as long as he can get through the gate, he had a little trouble getting through the gate this morning, but he made it with no help from me. So we'll see. Let's see if he can get this thing positioned. I don't think it's gonna be too hard, but there it is. In its new final destination. I'm super excited now. They were getting ready to go home, and I was good with it too. I thought, you know what, we're done. He needs to go get the right stuff. But it all worked out, and now we're almost home free. Once we get this spotted, and I don't need to be out here. I'll just come out here when it's done, and we're gonna come up with a game plan for what we want to do this thing. Can't wait. I'm pumped. Great way to end the day. It's only like, I guess it's 3 o'clock. It was only 1:30 just a minute ago, it seemed like. Oh, now looks like he's got himself in another predicament. Let's see what we got. We almost got it. Got to get it right here in line with this. He's gonna back it all the way up. So he'll back it all the way to like right here, so that when we pull in with the other one, we can get them all both side by side, and we'll just follow this line. And they're gonna face like this. So those 2 doors, that's where the deck's gonna be. Deck right here. There we go. Beautiful home site. $6,000 home site right here. That was actually given to me, but I had to move it the first time. So now with this move here, I've got about 10 grand in this trailer. And when I get done putting the siding and everything, I'm probably gonna have about 30 or 40 grand in it, but it's gonna be really, really nice. It's gonna be super cool. Morning, good morning. Okay. I guess they turned that thing around back here yesterday. Somehow they turned the double wide all the way around back here. I don't know how they did it. But I found out, which they didn't tell me, I found out they knocked my gate off, messed up my gate a little bit. Nothing we can't fix, but they didn't even say anything about that. Owen and I just got everything in there. We kind of laid everything down the best we could. We think that it's gonna ride the way we did it. There's my gate. Bent that over pretty good. So what we'll have to do is we're gonna have to actually unscrew that, straighten it out, and put it back on. It should be fine. It'll be okay. I think I'll just be a lot more relieved by the end of today when we get this one all the way out there and up around that corner that we got stuck on yesterday. I made the road wider, so I think they're gonna be okay. So this stuff here, definitely gonna set this down on the ground, but you can see we had, I don't know what, if that's some water intrusion, but it was probably coming from right there. But this is our old office, and then definitely had some water intrusion back here. This turned into our old office, into our storage. This is all Lori's decorations, and of course, the room that failed was hers. So I've got to get this out there. I'm gonna get it all cleaned up for her and get all our stuff all nice and neat again. And we'll be out of here with this one. All right, we got a lot going on this morning. Double wide guys are over at Patton grabbing the last side of that double wide, and so I got them going over there. We're gonna head out to the solar project right now. We've got Owen, Chad, and our apprentice that we had to have per California guidelines. You gotta have an apprentice. You gotta have somebody from the apprentice out here, or else if you're doing projects like these and you don't, then you get fined and all kinds of stuff. And they do all kinds of stuff to try to trick you anyways, so that you don't pay the person right or whatever. It's total scam that the government does, just like they pretty much everything else they scam you on. It's basically a catch-22, and if you don't have like all your paperwork correct, and if you pay a guy like $1, you know, the wrong amount, you could be subject to fines of upwards, you know, crazy fines. That's why everything's so expensive, because people are just so on edge that if they make a mistake, they're gonna get fined, and then they have to. So, you know, like if you get lucky and don't make a mistake and don't get fined, then you make good money. And it's exactly why any government project is just so expensive. But the long story short is that we have a compliance company that does all of that for us, and we price that into our job. So essentially the liability for having the correctness on the paperwork is on them. I mean, it's still on us, but it really just helps with spreading the liability, which is kind of what you got to do to play the game here in California. You know, anywhere that you're doing state or government work, it's the same kind of scenario. It's always them trying to trick you into making a mistake so that they can give you a fine. And at the end of the day, it's probably not even worth it doing these jobs, but there's so much volume, and there's such a potential for a lot more work. I think my theory about it is I want to become an expert in it and do it, you know, so I know I'm doing it the right way, and I know I'm making money and I'm not getting fined, and the volume of work that we get will make it worthwhile. So that's kind of the only reason I'm doing it, is because we're not super busy in other places right now. So it was like a perfect storm. The job came through. We're coming into fall. Construction's tightening up in Mammoth right now, and it was like a perfect project for us to do at this time. So, you know, kind of had to take the gamble and roll the dice, and things are going good so far. It's our first day with the apprentice, so I want to make sure everybody's working safely. You know, get caught up with something like that, have you know, one of these apprentices, you know, get hurt, and then that's a whole nother ball of wax. But this is what we deal with every day. We're just like playing the stock market. We're gambling, you know, that we're right on what the market's going to do, what the job's going to do. Like, are we going to get fined? Are we going to go higher? Are we going to make more money? Are we going to lose money? It's the dance. It's the contractor dance. It's the dance in life. Everything's, you know, no risk, no reward, right? So that's where we're at right now. stakes out of the back of my car. They're just rolling around everywhere. So here we go. We're going to see what the boys are up to. Okay, so we got our sonotubes. Holes are drilled, caution tape's up, sorta up. Should have put another support there in the middle, but I think everybody gets the idea. Don't go there. He didn't put the X's on the plywood either, like I told him. Cages here. The guys are up working on the north section, so we're gonna head up there next. But I just wanted to see how this all came out. I left before they finished drilling. So we got some fine grading to do with the roads, but overall not too bad. I brought Sadie and Bud today. Where's Sadie at? Oh, she's in the back. They've been not allowed to go with me the last couple of days. So I told them I'd take them today. They just can't get out of the car. You gotta stay in the car. Oh, Chad actually looks like a real construction worker today. Hitting them in?
City, and Owen said those are for another job. They're the same size. These were,
Well, why aren't we starting right here with this one?
But Owen called me and said that those were for another job.
I mean, we could have used them, but
Well,
I was gonna use the new.
I'll come back and place them. They're 10 foot long.
Yeah.
So I got this bunch already in. The second one, I'm moving to. We're going down there. I'm just taking my.
Those are in already?
Yeah, the second one.
You put the new ones in there?
Yeah, the second one here is done. We're getting moving to the third.
Well, you could have just put them in, but whatever.
The short.
I was gonna use these on Arcadia because they're old. So this is our plates that we had to make. Cages, plates. That's about $7,000 right there. These, believe it or not, these studs were 20 bucks a piece. 20 bucks a piece. I had to get 288 of them. Unbelievable. Could have used rebar and just did a bend on them, but the engineer wouldn't allow it. I'm gonna go down here and see how they're doing. Got the boys, Chad and the apprentice, working right here. They're untying all the cages. They had them all kind of bundled together. This is section 3. Morning.
Morning.
How are you? He's gonna grab one. And it goes in here. That's a long way down. These are the 10-foot ones too. These ones here are 16 feet. So if you go in here, that's way on down there. I definitely know where I could hide a couple bodies right now. Just kidding. Just kidding. You gonna lower those? Oh. Lower them on down. just let it drop. There you go. No problema. Just back it out. It's gonna fall. There you go. There you go. All right. You guys have a good day.